Hello everyone, Murray the Pie Man here for some more Star Trek Online. And Star Trek Online in following Duug, our friendly TOS now time agent. Now, for those who came in late, we are investigating some...
Welcome to Drozana.
Go away.
You're cleared for...
So we're investigating some... I can't remember the species name now. The ones from Time's Arrow, but they've been Davidians, and they've been up to some nonsense in a station called Drozana, and it's something related to a mysterious comet. So we had a skirmish with some Cardassians and found evidence of the Davidians and the Cardassian ship, and then we investigated Drozana Station and found evidence that they're there. That was the talkie one. And so what we're going to do now, we're now going to explore the lower decks, the deep lower levels of Drozana Station, to find out what the hell is going on here. So this is where you start the mission. You go to Drozana and you pick this what lies beneath. So let us go down to the spooky lower levels. Right, so to me it's saying I'm reading temporal fluctuations and triolic energy in these levels of the station. Staying down here for too long could be hazardous. The interference also may make it difficult to contact the ship or get a transporter lock if we need an emergency beam out, because the most advanced technology the 25th century has to offer can still be blocked by some iffy radiation. Apparently the levels primarily contain power junctions and EPS conduits for the rooms above us. We need to reach the maintenance lift and take that down to the computer core. Okay. Well, this is a hole. Why? What are the dangling chains for? Why do we have dangling chains? But now this used to be a thing you had to equip. You're kind of given it now as standard. So Tarsy's telling us a box of emergency supplies isn't just lying around. Balin probably bartered with a Nautican pirate for it. I recognise these flashlight drones, hand-free hover system and programmed to shift in response to your movements. Not the most reliable design. So that's a thing. Let's see. They usually come in as standard, but I quite like them so that you're not having something on your wrist or something. So, oh, there's that flashing. Triolic waves, there must be Davidians nearby, says Tarsy. To me it's saying, I suspect we'll see more as we approach the area with the greatest concentration of triolic energy. Sir, I'm also picking up some indeterminate readings from behind that door to our left. However, the interference from the triolic waves are making it too hard to get an accurate scan at this distance. So yes, it's all very dark. I believe this mission was originally built as a Halloween mission. Oop. Oh. We've scanned a Ferengi. Timit says this Ferengi died from triolic radiation poisoning. It seems he's been here for a while, sir. Even if the Davidians couldn't use his neural energy, it's still dangerous to be close to his nest. There's nothing we can do from now due to the temporal flux disrupting the transporters. We can't even beam the body out. Once we get out of here, we can notify security. So we have a few rooms. Everything a bit rubbish and battered, but there's a computer console, so we'll check the power distribution grid. So to me it's saying it appears that the maintenance levels are suffering from intermittent power problems. The conduits are probably overloaded due to the temporal fluctuations. The station's pretty old and many of these components are more than a century old. I'm seeing triolic surges near the maintenance lift and across multiple levels, but nothing that can be consistently tracked. Okay, well that was a thing. Have a look around. Oh. It's all gone blue again. Let's see, was it a ghost or was it just my crewmates? Oh, that door's not opening. Guess we have to go back the way we came. Little somersault there for entertainment purposes. Ah, there's our door. So let's examine it. Oh, Scarvin's saying, looks like the door's stuck, sir. We'll have to find another way around. One of the side maintenance passages should have an alternative route. Okay. Nope. And suddenly a whole spiders have come out. Oh. You might notice I'm using the anti-Davidian gun. It does work on other things. It's worth keeping it equipped. Ooh! Jump scare plate. Hey, wait a minute. Was that deliberate? Again, more dangly chains. They do like their dangly chains in here. Lots of, quite frankly, broken stuff. Some gas that I'm scanning. Just a material thing, but yes, nothing up here. So we will go back to where it's clearly pointing us. I would say I wouldn't mind if the lights were a bit dimmer. I know this is daft, but the game is trying to give kind of a horror ghost feel, and I think sometimes we're overlighting it a bit. But that's just me. Oh, more spiders. I do like it when someone throws a grenade to deal with a few spiders. Some people would call it an overreaction, some people would call it a perfectly reasonable reaction. Depends on your views on spiders. So yeah, this is very much going on the horror spooky mission. Use the proton rifles. I do think some link to proton packs intended. Oh, I mean, and this hits them harder when they're in that kind of phased form. Someone's brought up their healing kit. So Tarsy's saying the Davidians are definitely getting more aggressive. They could have a lair somewhere in the lower levels. If they do, they'll become increasingly more violent as we get closer to their territory. And Timot's saying the proton rifle should have a significant effect to the Davidians. The proton beam mode is especially affected while their phase shifted. Yeah, I said that. So here we are, kind of slowly descending the lower levels. I don't think anything happens in this now, so we've got... So we're going to activate the maintenance lift. Scarvin's saying someone's put the shift lift in emergency log time, we'll have to override the code to access it. And that's that computer station just around this corner. There we go. Just access this console. Scarvin's saying that should do it. I wonder why someone would lock down the lift in the first place. Yeah, why indeed. Probably for perfectly reasonable reasons. So we'll activate this lift. And Scarvin's saying this isn't the computer core level. It appears the lift's stuck. We're somewhere on a maintenance level for environmental controls and waste recycling. We need to track down the damaged junctions on this floor and repair them or bypass them before we can take the lift to the computer core level. Well, let's have a look at this. We'll override this door lock. There. I should have actually checked the door first and someone said, hey, the door is locked. Okay, that's not good. Oh, someone's locked the door with an encryption key. Hang on. I'll let them deal with the spiders, I don't care. That won't actually let me kill them. Spiders are distracting me from looking at the door. So yeah, I said it's with an encrypted key a kiloquad long. If we don't find that key, we could stop here for a long time. Let's contact the ship. I say, are you there, Captain? Your signal is... He's all blacked out. Blanking. Too much interference? Looks like we're on our own. Yes, I know we're locked in Tarsi, I just found that out. What's this? So there's a maintenance log entry.
Supplemental. The strange power fluctuations are related to the problems in the power subsystems on the upper decks. So I'm looking into the possibility of feedback damage or spikes in the environmental systems. It could take some time to find the problem and make repairs, though. Particularly if I need to use the replicators to create replacement components. Balan is loath to allow use of the replicators for anything more than blood wine and Gramillion sand peas. This is dirty, uncomfortable, and thoroughly disagreeable work. Naturally, as soon as the job involves mucking around in the recycled atmosphere and waste processing, I get the short straw.
Well, he sounds happy with his work. There's some weird noises. I think that's just the fans from the environmental reprocessing. Probably nothing to worry about. I'll repair this relay. Oh. They didn't like that, the Davidians. Eat proton beam. Well, the Davidians don't seem to like me doing anything with this. So that's one down. Let's see, yeah, so that's those fans making a noise. Again, gives a bit of atmosphere. What's through here? Oh, there's a control panel. Let's go and have a look at that.
Hello? Is someone out there? Please, help me!
Tarsi saying that voice is coming from the communications console on the wall, Captain. Let's go and find out.
Hello? Is someone there?
Who's this?
Please, you have to help me. I came down here to check on one of the atmosphere regulators, and someone shot me.
Who shot you?
I'm not sure. I didn't get a good look. He was so fast. Please, you have to find a way to open this door and get me out of here.
I'm going to activate the manual override. Try to reach the release lever.
Oh, Prophet, no. He's back. No. Ah!
Oh. Oh, nothing. Let's get this door open. Oh, there's our check victim. Dead body. So to admit saying multiple phaser burns and contusions, this woman was murdered. The wounds are still warm. She was killed just a few seconds ago. Tarsi's saying there's no other entrances or exits. And I like the way she's twitching and looking slightly nervous now. How could she be killed if she was alone in a locked room? See, builds the atmosphere. Oh, another maintenance log entry. Some environmental storytelling.
I've upgraded a few of the components on this level, including remote overrides for bleed valves on environment controls, hollow emitters to expedite further repairs, and security overrides in case of emergency. I'm starting to suspect that the low-level radiation I've detected on these decks has affected the station inhabitants, and that some are showing signs of transient acute schizophrenia and paranoia. I'll have to maintain contact silence for now, so that they don't interfere while I'm trying to repair the systems. Once I've corrected the problems causing the radiation leaks, we can deal with the symptoms. Log entry supplemental. My work here will take far longer than I originally anticipated. Fortunately, I've engaged a safety interlock on the maintenance lift, so no one will come down here without me knowing about it. I found several program errors that have purged the affected subroutines. The work is much easier now. Soon,
He's
everything will be under control.
He's sounding a bit unhinged. Yes, your environmental storytelling of this will all be fine providing this thing got out. Next log entry, it got out. But yes, he's not sounding the healthiest. This lad, oh, there's a panel here. Here's a relay. Let's go and have a look at the next one, because it's just right across the hall. Oh, more Davidians. Are they staying or are they fading? Fading, okay. Oh. A big one, an Eidolon. And spider as well, just if we didn't have enough problems. Dropping lots of loot though. Probably means my inventory's going to get full sooner rather than later, but hopefully you don't need to see me do inventory management. So that's another panel dealt with. Just that one down the long spooky corridor, which I'm sure will be fine.
Barnacle, I see you. Barnacle, what will you do?
This is fine. Genuinely gave me a jump scare first time I ever heard that. I think it turned up in the Halloween mission they threw and said as an extra sound thing, so I'm going to dodge these. I know this is going to sound like a petty thing, but these used to be green, now they're red. So to me it's saying these nodes have to be controlled remotely. It wouldn't be safe for someone to stand near them and activate them. Do you remember the wave interference? You might be able to jam the remote signal. So let's try that. Yeah. So that's something you can do as a science person, not as a engineering or tactical. They don't do it often, but just every so often they'll throw in a mission where your origin actually means something. So there's our last panel. Oop. Hey, who's this? Hey, someone releasing an probe. He's called Gain, and he's attacking us. Oh. He just vanished. Oh. Got to try and keep myself alive because the rest of my crew has collapsed. Have to raise them all. Caught us with the radiation blast. Typically, just randomly raising everyone standing in a group, we raise the medic last. That's some good ideas there. Never a good sign when someone's doing little sort of rhymes in a spooky voice over the intercom. There he is.
They said you didn't they, my little bully, to halt my work, to change my program. You'll not survive to perform such trixies. Oh no, my pretty Barnacle.
Well, that's who was doing all this. Oh. see if someone can come to help me. Good boy, Scarvin. There's still a Davidian left. Oh, yep, dodging with a blue. So to me it's going to explain what just went on there. A malfunctioning hologram, no wonder. Triolic energy would degrade its program and cause instability, and the Davidians didn't bother it because it had no neural energy for them to feed on. Sir, it looks like the encryption key for the door might correspond to a subroutine embedded in the hologram's mobile emitter. We should use it to open the door. Mobile emitters are still rare outside Starfleet, Captain. The staff here must have spent quite a lot of latinum to obtain one. If you ask me, Balan might be spelling more than drinks and dabble. It would be best if someone keeps an eye on him, but I have a feeling Franklin Drake is doing just that. So that's us now got the encryption key. So inventory space, that's fine. Oh, and the door works now. Right, so let's... That little spooky diversion. I like that. Again, this is why I like these missions. So Scarvin comes in here and says we made it to the computer core level. In this station, the core itself is down a long ramp past some regulator rooms. We should head there as quickly as possible. Okay. Again, lots of dangling chains. And the lights aren't doing that much. Let's examine this door. To me it says this another locked door. This one doesn't seem to have special code. We should be able to open it from the secondary security console just down the hallway. So we will proceed down the long and spooky hallway. We'll find this secondary security console. So there, that looks like a secondary security console if I ever saw one. So that should do it, but we're being attacked by some more Davidians. I should really be holding back timing on those proton blasts for when they're phased, but you don't come here to watch games played well. Just disposing of that, so I don't need an engineering kit. Don't really need that either. I think everyone's equipped with better, so. So this door is now unlocked and open. And as we proceed in, oh, there's a guy. So Scarvin's saying there's two exits along the same wall. To head towards the core, we need to take the southernmost door. We'll follow the hallway, then turn left and go down the ramp. I think that was thrown in because I reckon people have some trouble pathfinding in this, but hey, look at this guy. I do actually have a button which I think just bring that. Yes, that just brings up Scarvin's description. There's some bodies here and those shirts look red. To me it's saying the person from the 23rd century, the Davidians must be bringing victims through time. We have to stop them before they're responsible for any deaths. They could disrupt the timeline. Yeah, they're pulling red shirts through and killing them. Oh. Oh. Oh phew, that's just a fade out. But quite sinister nonetheless. Down another spooky long corridor. Here's a room. Oh, it's got Davidians in it. Well, I walked us into that ambush. So, nothing actually in this room for us to deal with. Down to the next corridor. Oh, another room. Up to mate's come in and said this appears to be the regulator room for the power systems. The Davidians are probably leeching power from the station to keep their gate activated. We could use this console to set up a power spike that we could trigger near the course, which might disrupt the Davidians and their gate. Okay, let's do that. Oh, another red shirt. Yes, I do like the way the Davidians make everything go blue. And, you know, fade out those corners, you know, it can narrow your point of view. It just makes everything a bit spookier. And yes, we've got a poor red shirt there. Very slow doors. Don't know if you noticed that. Oh, Timet's now saying it looks like a field control station. Set up a field system so we can activate the core to counteract the Davidians' phasing abilities. Push them in sync with our universe. Again, another good idea. Going for promotion, Timet. Oh, at least this room isn't full of Davidians. Spiders, however, it's full of spiders. Oh, different spiders. These are telling cave spiders rather than Tellarite hook spiders. Thanks to variety. And of course there was those ice spiders. Again, love these touches, just gives you a bit of a spooky feel. And there is a temporal probe for us to investigate. I think it's in here. Oh, yep. So, I guess. We've got the boss monster, the Phantasm. Nothing. This hurts me. It does this thing occasionally, it turns into a snake. Oh, and it's wiped out most of my crew. That's troublesome. Not ideal. Come on. It doesn't seem like a lot of my science abilities don't really work on him. There are still some left, so I'll res some of my guys, because... Oh, it says the Davidian's time portal, seeing that from her unconscious state, leads back to the 23rd century. There's no telling how much trouble they might be causing in the past, where the technology to take them just doesn't exist. Once you get readings, we should take them back to K7. Their extensive facilities are far more extensive than ours. What we have in the Grand P, and we might be able to find a way to shut down the portal. Well, let's have a look. Also need to find this temporal portal. Which is tricky when there's like a big... Oh. Temporal portal is nearby. Problem is, we're looking for a temporal portal next to a temporal portal. So... got to try not to do the mission finishing thing before I do the other thing. So I will have a quick run around. Ah, there it is. There's our temporal portal, not the temporal portal you might have seen at the corner of your eye. So, sorry, this is a chronal distortion. Yeah. So this is the one where we've got to find the word that's there. That's whisker. Oh, next entry. Whisk. And last one. There we go. So, probe appears to be looking for variances in phase. I'm seeing references to Davidian phase states along with those of the sphere builders. Perhaps trying to control phase states in your defense system. Well, let's grab the data and write the probe's memory. Salvage some components, so we also get... There. Right, now let's go and finish the mission proper. So there's our probe. We'll scan it. So to me it's saying the distortion's intense and it's difficult to process all this information. We should at least be able to compensate enough to beam out. Need to take the information back to K7 for analysis. The computers are powerful enough, so let's go back to K7. Now it would be nice if it had beamed us directly to the ship, but this was back in the day when they were making missions like this, that they still kind of thought getting you transiting between locations was kind of making you feel like you're playing it rather than it's just leading you there one place at a time. I see what they're doing, it's not necessarily my preference, but let's leave. So back to K7. So yeah, that's basically us finished this mission. Like I say, I'll do the wrap up in K7, but I really like that one. I'm not going to lie, it's got atmosphere, you've got the spooky Bonnican thing, you've got Davidians. I really wish it was actually kept in the main sequence, because, yeah, to me it's a really well made mission. I know they've said the devs, when they were asked about this and why they started freezing out, they said the scenery and whatnot wasn't up to standard, but really I don't think this one needs changing. I think it's brilliant. I really like it as a mission, so let's just finish this off. There's genuinely not much I dislike on that mission, actually. I think should be the template for a lot of how to build missions, in my view. But that's just my opinion, man. So let's go use their computer. Thanks to Mackenzie Calhoun. Apparently using it facing away from it. So the computer says temporal incursion consistent with time portal technology, approximate link date, stardate 2715.6, standard year 2265. Waste and phase shifted to tachyon spin supported by a draw from Drozana station power supply. Can it be used open, safely closed? Portal suffers instability due to quantum particle entanglement with phase shifted particles, or technical babble as we call it. It can be largely accessed with modulated directed energy when phase shifted entangled matter reaches a critical point. So one of our crew, Kelmir, is saying this means that the Triolic energy surges peak. We could remodulate an energy weapon, even a hand phaser, to use the portal and travel back in time. We could stop them at the source. So we will return to the ship, because we've got to hail our contact.
Now that we know the Davidians have a portal to the past and approximately where they are focusing their attention, I see no other choice than to send you and your crew back there to stop them before they kill again. I'll be honest, Time travel is a tool. At times, it is a useful one. I know Starfleet has hundreds of regulations about temporal incursions, but my job is to preserve the Federation, not make Admiral Quinn and the rest of the suits at Starfleet Command happy. If we break a few rules along the way, so be it. I need to make some preparations before you can proceed. I will contact you when the time is right. Drake out. Until next time. Obviously, the Davidians have found a way to harness this surge of triolic energy. The existence of the Davidian portal means they're traveling freely between the station in the present and in the past. Since 23rd century technology can't detect the Davidian phase shift, that time period is rife with potential victims. The only choice now is to stop the incursion at the source. You'll have to take that portal into the past and find out how the Davidians are creating this new surge of triolic energy. Stop them and find a way back without altering the timeline. Don't worry about temporal investigations. I'll pull a few strings. They'll never know you were gone. Best to keep your team small, just in case. Until next time.
So, that's our next mission, is we've got to go into the past. But I'm going to leave it there. So, once again, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this mission as much as I did. I hope you will tune in next time for more. As always, as you have to do on YouTube, I've got to tell you to press like and subscribe. If you want to talk to me, the comments is the best place, but you can also catch me on Blue Sky or Mastodon, both of them at Pieman70, bluesky.social or mistodon.social. But like I say, best place is probably the comments for YouTube. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. There's more Star Trek Online obviously on the channel if you've mysteriously come in on just this video. So you can see all the prior missions, a whole load of stuff from my main Romulan character on this playthrough, and a few other bits and bobs, as well as other games like Wing Commander 3 and Mist. So if you want to watch them, they're all there. But once again, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope you tune in to find out what happens when we go into the past. But until then, bye for now.